Hey guys, so are you struggling to keep your cool when playing Tekken Ranked? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to give you 7 practical solutions that you can make Ranked a lot less stressful. No mindless platitudes like get good or rank doesn't matter. No, 7 practical things that you can do right now. So let's crack on with it. Hey Tekken players, hope you're all doing well. Nice to meet you, I'm Beige Master and I'm not an underworld doctor. Depending on when you watch this video will determine on whether that reference made any sense. Anyway, as promised, I have 7 practical things you can do to try and keep your cool when playing Ranked. I'm not saying you can or should do all of them, but hopefully at least some of them will help you out, and they're all things I actually do myself to try to not get too stressed when I'm playing Ranked. As I said to camera, although lots of people will say things like, oh, your rank doesn't really matter, or you just have to try and improve and not get too focused on your rank. And although these platitudes come from no doubt good intentions, I don't think they're really that helpful.
Give me strength.
Let's be honest, if you're watching videos on YouTube about Tekken Ranked, then chances are you do care a fair bit about your rank. And for a lot of people, it's the best measure we have to see how well we're doing at learning Tekken. Now, it's irrelevant as to whether that's actually true or not. If it's how you feel, then Ranked can be an incredibly stressful experience. I swear, no other game comes close to the levels of stress and anxiety playing Ranked online can bring you as a Tekken player. And just to be straight, I have definitely been in this position in the past, and I'll admit, in the very early days, I know I have plogged on an opponent because I got so angry and frustrated. I'm not proud of that fact, but I'm just saying it to be 100% honest with you, and so you know that when I say these steps will help your rank stress, then I do know what I'm talking about. Anyway, before this turns into a self-psychiatry session, let's crack on with it. So this is such an important subject, I actually made a video on it. Links in the description. In that video, I explained how playing new characters will make you better at Tekken in general, but it also has a lot of practical benefits for rank stress. If you only play one character, you'll be completely invested in that one character and your so-called progression can only be measured on where that character sits in rank. However, if you learn a new character, this will open your horizons, and for me at least, well, it reduces the stress a lot as I have a lot less emotional investment on the rank of my side characters, even if they actually end up being higher than my main, which has happened a few times. Also, if you normally main a character that's either hard or a bit serious, honestly, playing a character that's, well, how should you put this? Playing a character that's a lot easier or more fun to do, well, will help you take the game far less seriously. And yes, I'm looking at you Jin mains, especially the ones who always end every round with mental alertness, you sweaty nerds.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
As a Kaz player, chill out, I'm just taking a mic. And you know, jokes aside, honestly, learning a new character to play in Ranked is just less stressful than your main, so why not give it a go? No, I promise I haven't gone mad just yet. I learnt this while recording some ranked sessions for some other videos where I would play ranked and basically record what I was doing, to form a narration. Anyway, I realised that while commentating about what I was actually doing, it was a great way to take yourself outside of your mind, and it'll stop you autopiloting, and it kind of stops you getting too emotionally invested in what you're doing. I'm not saying you have to sit there like a madman acting as if you're streaming to an audience that isn't there. But just doing something as simple as voicing what your opponent is doing is a good start. This is also a great way of helping you remember their habits for the next match. So for example, oh, he always goes for lows, or oh, he always hop kicks when under pressure. This is a little tip shared by Tekken streamer Chenzo as a way of trying to download your opponent. The fact is, if you say something out loud, you're far more likely to remember it, and this will help it get into your memory for the next round. I appreciate not everyone can do this, but if you have access to a variety of platforms such as Steam, PSN and Xbox, then I would urge you to play Ranked across each one. Now I could, and probably will at some point, do a whole video about the differences between PC and PlayStation, but for now, I'll just say that each one has its own pros and cons, and normally I find it's really helpful to switch over from one to the other if one has given you a lot of stress while playing Ranked. It's also a nice way to rank up characters, then leave them there while you rank them up on the other platform, sort of knowing that in effect you've already banked that particular rank. So this is a method I've started to do recently, and let me explain why. Now you're probably aware that the closer you are in rank to your opponent, then the more points you win. If you're at the same rank, you win just shy of 2,000 points. Now, most people who want to rank up quickly will set the rank limit to only 2 ranks difference. Now, the problem with this is you also run the risk of losing a lot more points, and you're going to end up facing a small amount of people around your rank. However, if you set the limit to be anyone, you pretty much turn ranked into player matches, because whether you win or lose against a TGO or a first dan, the points you actually win or lose is basically nothing, and so it's not really going to affect your actual rank. I personally really like doing this, as it's a great way of playing a wide range of players, and it also just takes away the anxiety because you're playing people knowing that you're not really going to affect your rank that much. Now, this is particularly good in relation to the next step we're going to talk about, which is about boosting your player stats. So as I mentioned, while playing ranked, this will change your player stats, which does not happen while you play player matches. So what I like to do is look at my stats and try to see whether there's anything I can do to boost up a particular stat. So for example, if my punishment proficiency is down, during that rank session I will look to try and punish everything I can. These stats will change independently of whether you're actually winning or losing, so it's a great way to take the stress out of rank session by giving yourself more metrics to test yourself against, rather than just simply am I winning or am I ranking up. On a related note to step 1 about playing different characters, I find that the more variety of characters I play in one rank session, then the more my stats seem to boost up. I guess it sort of makes sense, because as you play different characters with different playstyles, you'll play to different strengths, and so overall that will help boost your stats. So this is kind of related to the previous point, except you can make it a little more customised. So give yourself a little challenge to try and do while playing. For example, trying to, say, punish a Hell Sweep or a Snake Edge with a neutral hop kick for maximum damage, or trying to land a big boy combo in an online match. Or this is one that I did the other day. Unfortunately I couldn't record it because I was playing PS4. I was playing against a Marduk with my pool, and I specifically worked on making sure I landed the big bodied wall combo for maximum damage. Now, this doesn't mean that you'll actually win, but it's a great way of giving yourselves alternative goals and basically doing stuff that will help you improve in general. Okay, so this is probably the most important tip, which is why I saved it until the end. If you're like me, you'll notice that you have good days and bad days in Tekken. So some days I can nail ISWs and I can always launch punish -15 moves and I never miss a forward 1 combo. And there are some days where, well, to be blunt, I can't even block a Snake Edge. I've no idea why this happens, but what you need to do is know that when you're on a bad streak, and know to stop playing ranked if you are. Now, this kind of sounds obvious, but it's actually quite difficult to do because it comes down to something known as the gambler's conceit, which is, in short, it's the kind of psychological belief that despite the fact you're losing, you think if you just keep going at it, then eventually your skill will come through and your wins will offset your losses. However, it's a fallacy, because if you're on a bad day, you're more likely just to keep losing rather than getting your rank back. And the more you lose, the more stressed you get, and you end up in a downward spiral. So if that happens, just stop playing ranked and come back when you're on a good day. Trust me, you'll thank me in the long run. Thanks all for watching. I hope that's helped you take some of the stress out of ranked. Now you'll notice I've not included what to do when playing so-called toxic players in ranked, and to be honest, you'll just have to come to your own decisions about how you deal with it. Personally, I kind of think if you're the type of sad or lonely person who can only boost their very fragile ego by acting like a douche with unnecessary key charges or teabags, then, well, that's fine, good on you, but don't expect me to stick around to help you out to get some sort of satisfaction to your life. But hey, that's just me, and you may want to play them, it's entirely up to you. So, are there any other tips or hints that you'd suggest to make ranked a less stressful environment? If so, feel free to drop a comment down below and I'll have a read. If this video has helped you, be sure to drop it a like to help promote it to other Tekken players. And if you'd like to see more Tekken videos and guides, please consider subbing to the channel. Thanks everyone, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.